People asked to sum up the internet in a sentence might use words like socializing, learning, research, or online gaming. Other people might use words like unethical businesses, pornography, or online predators. Which brings us to the topic of today, internet safety for elementary students, parents, and teachers. People also know that the internet is a dangerous place with real-world consequences. Inventors throughout history worked hard bringing innovations into reality, and these inventions were meant, for the most part, to improve living conditions, working conditions, or some aspect of society, and along with them came some unintended consequences. For instance, when the automobile was first introduced, there were few roads and fewer rules of operation. Now, it didn't take long for criminals to discover how to utilize this new technology in all sorts of criminal activities. If we fast forward to the 21st century, it doesn't take long to discover many advances in technology that a few years were unimagined, let alone trying to recognize in advance all the ramifications or changes to society. And one such technology that has changed the way people work, socialize, and learn is the internet. And of course, along with it, came the ever-present unintended consequences. The internet, as we know, is a valuable tool for business and a wondrous place for personal entertainment, as well as a place to socialize and learn. It also has a dark side, the unintended consequences, unethical business practices, pornography, online sexual predators, con artists. In short, the internet is much like the real world, and like the real world, the internet is fun, as well as dangerous, if one is not careful. If children are to ethically and safely use the internet, then children need to know that places exist they should not go. That is what this work is about, and through the next few minutes, we're going to expose some of the dangers associated with the internet while providing information to help avoid those dangers and help keep elementary age children safe while using the internet. The origin of the internet is buried deep in overlapping network infrastructure developed over time, having a determination on how modern systems function. The functioning aspect of the internet continues to evolve with more and more interactive applications that allow kids to be entertained, socialize, or discover information about things that interest them. However, this also means that deviant people use the same functions in attempts meant to exploit vulnerable children, at times with deadly consequences. The potential danger cannot be emphasized enough, especially to those that have children entrusted to them. It is estimated that there are 1 million pedophiles online, and that 1 in 4 internet users aged 10 to 17 were exposed to pornographic images, and 1 in 5 have been solicited for sex in the past year. These numbers are alarming, yet they do not address the entire problem of internet danger. Children can be mean to each other, and more the term cyberbullying is used in conjunction with unintended consequences as children socialize and interact on the internet. And as children rely more and more on this technology, whether for personal or social use, the incidence of cyberbullying is only likely to increase. However, that's not the complete picture. Completing the cycle of threats is businesses and marketers that specifically target children. Thus, the problem becomes how to allow children to explore and interact online while keeping them safe. Most parents begin teaching children about the world as soon as possible, and children are generally eager to learn the lessons as they strive for independence. From this, it would seem that the same teaching strategies used to teach children about the real world would carry over to teaching children about using the internet. Some suggest supervision is not enough, And unlike the real world, where parents can avoid bad situations by watching out for and protecting their children from dangers, parents and teachers can only avoid bad situations in advance on the internet by using online tools such as filtering software meant to avoid content deemed harmful, offensive, or useless, and that children using the internet need to be taught to avoid bulletin boards and chat rooms using the same concepts as not talking to strangers. Although supporting what parents and teachers should know and do is only addressing half the solution of internet safety. The other half of the solution of internet safety is teaching children what they need to know and do. Children may not be involved in setting up filtering software. They will be subject to school use policies and rules that control their online behavior. And it's not surprising, the world is full of rules. These rules act as guidelines or controls, covering almost every aspect of society. Ironically, one of the rules in enforcing internet usage is to set up rules. And children must understand that giving out personal information is against the rules, as is setting up live meetings with people met online. Children need to know the long-range consequences of posting pictures of themselves, and that they do not need to respond to mean, uncomfortable messages. And the best response, sometimes, is probably not to respond at all. Like any other complicated issue, internet safety needs a proactive approach to fend off unsafe practices of children that goes beyond the rules. Parents and teachers can be proactive in many areas to prevent children exposure to unsafe conditions discussed in relation to internet usage. In the classroom, as at home, computers should be visible and usage easily monitored. It seems that online safety is about knowledge, and knowledge is power. The internet provides knowledge in terms of legal use, ethical use, and actual use from many perspectives. Some websites track exploits, while others provide guidance for protecting computers from hackers. Whether parents and teachers are looking for the latest methods used for identity theft or security issues, there are sites available to assist. For instance, to find information on exploits, parents and teachers might search the National Safety Alliance site or the Federal Trade Commission website. It is also important to understand that although every effort is made to ensure safety and protections are in place to guard personal information, the internet remains a dangerous place and breaches do occur. And Congress understands the dangers inherent to the internet, such as child exploitation and the growth of child pornography. Moreover, studies have indicated that parental controls and supervision are inadequate for protecting children from internet dangers. One survey recently cited by Congress found that 61% of students admit to using the internet unsafely. In the meanwhile, approximately 67% of students in grades 5 through 12 do not share with their parents what they do online, and approximately 30% of students in grades 5 through 12 hide their online activities. Furthermore, some 31% of the students in grades 5 through 12 have the skills to circumvent or get around internet filtering software. And 12% of middle school and high school students have met face-to-face with someone they first met online. Finally, while some 61% of parents want to be more personally involved with internet safety, 47% feel they're inadequate and unable to monitor and shelter their children from inappropriate material on the internet. However, in an attempt to be proactive, Congress in 2006 attempted to supplement the Children's Internet Protection Act with a provision called the Deleting Online Predators Act. That would have mandated school librarians include filtering software on computers with internet access to protect minors from commercial social networking websites and chat rooms. Although the House passed the measure, the Senate failed to act, with the mood in Congress being to move from deleting online predators to educating internet users. So again, with the 110th Congress, they tried again, only this time they did act on the Deleting Online Predators Act, of course with some revisions that remove filtering language and expanded awareness, while adding an education provision. What does all this mean to parents and teachers? In short, it means that Congress recognizes the Internet for all its potential as a resource for collaboration and socialization, as well as a place to lurk and extort vulnerable members of society for sexual satisfaction or monetary gain or both. It also means parents and teachers are not going to get direct answers from Congress, nor should they depend on the government to help solve the problems associated with pornography or online predators. Perhaps this is as it should be, meaning parents and teachers following a common sense approach of setting rules and expectations for children, fostering positive relationships, promote responsibility into children, and with that, appropriate use of the Internet. Even if the evidence indicates how well students are able to get around protective software and obtain access to the content desired despite the risks, common sense approaches, as mentioned above, also counter the evidence, indicating that a majority of parents desire more personal involvement in their children's internet activity, despite knowing they probably cannot stop the children from viewing or interacting with inappropriate materials while on the internet. Meaning that desiring involvement and being involved are two different things, despite the fatalistic conclusion of not being able to stop their children's access to certain material. So, the discussion has gone full circle, with parents and teachers desiring to protect children from dangers waiting on the Internet for unsuspecting victims. Just as society needs to educate each generation of citizens appropriate behavior to be successful living in society, each generation of Internet user must be taught appropriate behavior to remain safe while enjoying the resources of the Internet. This means that parents, teachers, and children need to build trusting relationships and are not afraid to discuss expectations or unpleasant experiences that do occur and know what to do about them. It also means that schools should implement policies for Internet use with consequences of policy violations that are clear and understood by parents and students. What seems fundamental to everything discussed is a solid foundation laid early in Internet usage that encourages appropriate use while filtering inappropriate materials, along with fostering concepts such as not talking to strangers and ensuring children understand the danger of exposing sensitive information to unknown Internet contacts that might not have the best of intentions for them. Parents need to monitor and at the same time respect children reaching out, learning to navigate in a hostile world, with the eventual goal of being safe while becoming independent, online, real-time citizens.